Hey everyone, welcome to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Thursday, June 13th, 2019. All right, so today we start to ramp up with some astrological energy with quite a bit going on as we approach the weekend. Today, though, the theme will still be around Virgo with the moon here. This is the analytical side of ourself. Really good time for striving towards improvement, focusing on the details of things, and doing the work. This has really been the theme of this week so far. But going into the weekend, we do have Mars trining up to Neptune and opposing up to Saturn. So as the day unfolds, we'll probably feel a bit of this maybe receptive energy with Neptune in terms of taking action in ways that are receptive or compassionate, understanding, when we are asserting ourselves. But with the opposition to Saturn, there's also this importance of balancing our needs with patience. Right, seeing the big picture, long-term perspective, really good with this combination. Also today, Venus sextiles Chiron, so on a minor note, maybe some healing in relationships or in terms of our self-worth. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here is the sky for this Thursday. And again, we are using the actual size of the constellations as seen in the visible sky. This does change the signs from mainstream astrology. So if you are new to the channel and notice some of the signs that I'm mentioning are different, be sure to check out the link down below for more information. All right, so the moon finishing this very large constellation Virgo, where the moon has been for pretty much this whole week, and now finishing up here today. So Virgo, the maiden, is all about that refined aspect of ourself and doing things that require that refinement or improvement in nature, or focusing on the details, doing the work, right? It's all about doing the work. And so that structural, grounded sort of side of ourself, really good to continue to develop as we continue to notice themes regarding this with the moon placed here. Now, we do have a lot of Earth energy as well because the Sun and Venus are in Taurus. And so from the larger context, it is still really good to be focused on cultivating our resourcefulness, our inner resources, inner strength, stability, natural gifts, and also connecting to the outer resources of life, nature, comforts, food, relaxation, things like this. This resources can give us the energy and vitality with the Sun. Now, with both of these planets in Earth signs, there is a bit of momentum and a bit of support in this part of the lunar month. Probably noticing some momentum approaching the weekend, some wind in our sails, and maybe some more insight as we do approach the next full moon, which I believe will be very early next week, I believe, around Monday. But don't quote me on that. I will make a separate video on when that is exactly. All right, so that's the placements there in terms of the aspects. As you can see, we are ramping up to a lot of astrological aspects as we approach the weekend here. The most important being with Mars. So essentially we have Mars trining up to Neptune and opposing up to Saturn. That's going to technically go exact tomorrow, both of those. But we'll certainly be feeling them as the day unfolds because these are two relatively slow-moving planets. Mars is relatively slow-moving, and so this does drag out the energy. So as the day unfolds, themes around Mars. Mars is the side of ourself that wants to take action, assert ourselves, has our personal needs, wants things now, is very independent, and is forming a couple aspects. One with a trine to Neptune, the watery planet of the oceans, the vastness of life, you could say, is in good harmony. So we could be noticing as the day unfolds a bit of receptivity, seeing how things do unfold in divine timing. When we are taking action, we're probably willing to do so in a way that is receptive, or is, if it's in relationships, understanding or compassionate, and just seeing how we can put energy where the flow already is. So there's a good synergy here between our needs from the more immediate sense and then the spiritual guidance of matters in life. So with that, there is this opposition up to Saturn, the planet that rules the long term and patience. And oppositions tend to require a bit of balance. So depending on what side of this you're on, maybe you're more on the Mars side these next couple days with those personal needs being very strong. Or maybe on the Saturn side, maybe there's more reserve or more limiting or denser kind of perspectives on things. And so it is good to find the balance between the two. How can we incorporate both the motivation, drive, ambition of Mars while at the same time have the patience and discipline and responsibility with Saturn to see the long-term perspective as well? This is really a balance between our more immediate personal needs and the long-term responsibilities and things that require patience in our life. So if we do find that balance, it becomes very constructive. And you could also read it as this is a heightened part of this cycle. It's like the full moon kind of energy of this cycle, which means there actually could be things coming to fruition that maybe you've been patient with about over the past year, let's say roughly. Anything you've been patient with or putting energy towards in a way that you have been seeing the long road, there could be some harvest, some culmination of that with the opposition to Saturn. Okay, and there could be some shifts and changes, but probably most of the shifts and changes will be over the weekend, which I'll talk about in that video. All right, but the most important stuff here today is just noticing probably that energy increasing, that receptive energy of Neptune, which is quite nice, and at the same time balancing that assertive side with patience and discipline. Now on a minor note, Venus is sextiling Chiron, nothing major with this, but as a backdrop, we may notice that there might be some healing through relationships or through connecting one-on-one with others, or just feeling a bit refreshed or rejuvenated with our self-value, self-worth, and again, some of these Taurus-related things which deal with our resources, our inner resources most fundamentally, like inner strength and inner self-value and self-reliance and things like this. So just a nice healing energy available, nothing major, but just an opening for that. All right, but the most important stuff is that Mars energy as well as the moon in Virgo, the theme finishing here around the earthy structural aspect of ourself, taking things in this disciplined, self-disciplined sort of way of doing the work and striving towards improvement of both ourself and our life at this time. All right, so everyone have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time for the next daily video. Take care.